Hello, everybody, and welcome into 49ers Live. I'm Joe Fann, joined by Taylor Price. We had our bags packed, our tickets booked for a trip to South Beach, but no, we had to cancel the boat ride in Miami. The faithful need their 49ers news, Taylor.
Yes, they do.
And there's too much to talk about. Take a vacation.
Way too much. We can't take any vacations. Are you kidding me?
The wild card weekend is over. The Giants lost by a yacht, and we're looking for a new head coach and general manager here with the 49ers.
Look at you, Joe. Boat jokes.
Boat jokes.
Hey, a lot going on with the 49ers, though. The head coaching search, the general manager search, it is on and popping. A lot of names going out there. We got to go through the names.
Let's start with the 4 head coaches who have been interviewed so far. Added a new name today, but last week it was Anthony Lynn, the interim head coach of the Buffalo Bills, Kyle Shanahan, the Falcons offensive coordinator, meeting with the 49ers during the bye week, and then a similar scenario for Josh McDaniels, the Pats OC. Then today, a familiar last name and a new name, a 30-year-old Sean McVay. Taylor.
Yeah, the grandson of 49ers legendary executive, John McVay. He's done some great things with Kirk Cousins and that Washington offense, and really another offensive mind to bring in the fold here, a young mind who's worked well with a high-profile quarterback potentially. So Sean McVay, interesting to see him as well. He's being rumored to interview with the Rams and other jobs as well. So a name to watch, definitely.
If you have any questions, be sure to send them over. We're going to be taking those throughout the entire show. General manager, also 4 candidates. Hearing of a 5th, possibly we can confirm during the show, about Elliott Wolf and Brian Gutekunst.
Man,
The jury's still out on how the heck we pronounce his last name.
You've been practicing it, so don't sell yourself short.
I can't decide if it's Brian Gutekunst, Brian Gutekunst. Either way.
Brian G.
Brian G. BG, my guy, the Packers director of player personnel. Both those gentlemen interviewed on January 5th. It was George Payton on the 6th, the Vikings assistant general manager. Then Jimmy Ray III, the Colts VP of football operations, was on Sunday. So no rest for the weary, went all the way through the weekend. Taylor, what's your take so far on the 8 candidates interviewed by the 49ers?
Well, we've seen some shift to the offensive side of the ball, with the coaches in particular. And you look at the organizations, the culture that they're from, winning organizations like the Packers, the Patriots, teams that have been successful, teams that have identified great offensive players, especially at the quarterback position. When you look at Jimmy Ray being involved with Andrew Luck and some of the players there at Indianapolis. So I'm seeing some offensive names early in this process, but a lot can play out. It's still very early in the process.
I think what's interesting is you look at the list of names I have in front of me, and you hear the reports of the new names to come later in the week. It doesn't look like Jed York and the 49ers are in any rush to hire a general manager or head coach, as they shouldn't be. I mean, this is a huge decision that you would like to hope that lasts for the next 5+ years. And so there is no need to rush it.
Yeah.
With February coming up, there's no need, there's no date that should be we have to have someone in place point. And so they're going to take a full 2 weeks to get the first round of interviews done, it looks like. Tom Cable's the name that's been thrown out there. A few execs in the Seahawks front office have been thrown out there. Louis Riddick has been a name that's thrown out there. He could be interviewed this week. And so once you get through this whole first round, which could take a couple of weeks, you have the second round, and that could materialize really quickly. But if, say, a guy like Kyle Shanahan or Josh McDaniels is your guy, as long as the Falcons or Patriots are in the postseason, which those are 2 teams coming off of byes in the playoffs that could make deep runs into the playoffs, which pushes this search and hiring process into February.
And you and I have talked about this, Joe, off the desk. It's a matter of not only interviewing candidates for the position and looking to evaluate them as potential GM, head coach for the 49ers, but you're learning from the opponents. What did you see from our team from your perspective? You're learning how the opponent, how the rivals are viewing your franchise. What do they think is ailing you? And so I think if you're speaking with potentially the Seahawks or the Packers, who are in the playoffs every single year, you're finding out how some of these top franchises in the NFC, how they view the 49ers as a football organization, how they view the personnel, the free agents. We'll get to that later in the show. This is very important, not only to find out candidates for this year, but to get a better sense of where you stand in the NFL landscape.
And we can't confirm. #sources.
Ooh.
Pulling a Schefter here. We got our phones on the desk. Right now, at this very moment, happening now, Panthers assistant general manager Brandon Beane is being interviewed by the 49ers. And now a 5th name added to that list of general managers. Really coming from all across the league, and you talk about championship culture. Panthers were in the Super Bowl just last year, Super Bowl 50 right here at Levi's Stadium.
Yeah, you look at what David Gettleman has done as the head GM over there in Carolina. They've identified great players, great defensive front. Kelvin Benjamin, you see them at wide receiver, a first-round draft pick. Cam Newton, we all know about Cam. You know about the Panthers personnel, their talent. And so Brandon Beane's been a part of it. He started in 1998 as a public relations staffer, and he's worked his way up and has done a nice job. Been in the draft room with David Gettleman throughout. He was actually promoted to interim general manager in 2012 and finished the season 6-4. So he has experience being in that high pressure environment, and you're looking at Cam Newton spin the rock there. The Panthers have found great players, and Brandon Beane's been a part of that process.